My name is Steve Buckley. I'm the Chief Pilot of Global Ballooning. The Chief Pilot essentially is in charge of the aviation side of the company, making sure that safety especially, but organising of balloons, etc. is taken care of. I fly over our two locations, Melbourne and the Yarra Valley, and have been flying there for about 4 years. I've been flying balloons since 2012, so yeah, flying for about 7 years. What got me into ballooning was I'm a tour guide by trade, and years ago I decided to stop doing tours and just to work locally in the area. So I actually looked on seek.com and got a job through Seek. So essentially that's how I started Global Ballooning. It advertised the job and I rang them up and you know, the rest is history. So I was crewing for about 10 years or so before becoming a commercial pilot in 2016. You do a minimum of 16 hours under instruction. You do a few solo flights under instruction from the ground. And then eventually you get your licence, then you have to do a further 75 hours as pilot in command. Once you've done that, you can start your commercial training, you do some exams, do 10 hours of training with a commercial instructor, and then pass a test and you know, then you're a commercial pilot. Basically, as a balloon pilot, we have control of going up and coming down. You're able to, by pouring heat into the balloon, you'll cause it to rise, and by letting some heat out, you'll allow it to descend. What we do is we use different layers at different levels to essentially go one spot, one direction or another. So at a ground level, we might go, you know, towards the northeast, and we go a bit higher, we might go towards the north, and a bit higher again, we might go towards the northwest. And we use those different layers at different heights to direct the balloon to where we want to go. So we have full control of up and down, and we just get the balloon to go higher, use a layer higher, then we'll come back down, use the lower layer. And we're basically putting ourselves in a position that we can come into the landing site by using the lower layer and then land the balloon safely on the ground. If I was to pick one word to describe ballooning, I would say adventure. I mean, the word adventure has always been a part of my life. I've always enjoyed doing adventurous things. Ballooning is an adventure. When you launch, you have a bit of an idea of what you're going to achieve that day, where you're going to go, but you are still going to be using an invisible force to get there, which you're not 100% sure what you're going to do. So the weather gives us the real sense of adventure because we can't 100% predict exactly where it's going to go. People should experience a balloon flight because it's a unique experience. There's no other experience like flying in a balloon. You're essentially floating above the ground in a bag full of air. There's no noise, there's no sensation of wind. You're in the wind, flying along. And apart from the burners going off, it's a very, very peaceful experience. It's essentially a floating platform, viewing platform. Being a balloon pilot, I love giving people this experience of flying in a balloon because it is often a once-off moment for them, something a lot of people have dreamed about for many years. And you do enjoy what people get out of it as the pilot because you're right there with the passengers. They're asking questions, you're talking about the experience, and you can really get a sense that people are enjoying it. Funnily enough, the favourite part of my flight is actually post-flight. After the flight, everything's done. We've packed the balloon away and enjoyed the achievement of doing a flight, achieving the objective, launching, landing safely. Everything's done and we're back to breakfast. I've always got a sense of achievement from finishing the flight, and just that moment of leaving the paddock and taking a breath and just reflecting on what I've just achieved has always been my favourite part. Ballooning is not scary. For a passenger, ballooning you get a real feeling of safety while you're doing it. We've had many passengers that have flown that have a fear of heights. Once you launch in a balloon, the sensation of not moving, of being in the basket, it's a very calming mode of transport. And people that come that are a little bit scared, they relax quite quickly. So it's not a scary form of flying, and it's got a very safe history. Very, very few accidents have happened or occurred in ballooning, and it'll maintain that because as an industry we get more and professional all the time. So very safe and not scary at all.